energized, and you're going to a level that human beings couldn't even have imagined 1,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, for that matter. And by the time you get up to these really high machines, way up like in 7 and 8, you're talking about a level of potential spirituality that is totally and completely inconceivable by humanity up until this time. And now that doesn't mean it's going to turn you into a god. You're not going to turn to Zeus and throw in a lightning bolt. What I'm saying is that every person, their belief system, in your case, Roy, you're a Christian, what happens is all the veils begin to leave, and your closeness, your proximity to that essence which represents your belief system, this mystical Christianity, let's call it, becomes more and more clear to you, and you actually become a much more spiritual person, because in the final analysis, all of this is our feeble attempt to reach higher levels of spirituality than has ever been felt by humans before. And I believe that we're going to accomplish that quite easily. Thank you very much.
I wanted to say something. It's like I was in yoga for 10 years, Kundalini yoga, which is supposed to be the highest form of the yogas. And I experienced very little, spiritual progress on an energetic level. And so what I see with traditional spiritual practices, it's really an input-output relationship. It's like day labor. You put some effort in, you get a certain result, but you're not leveraging. You're not growing exponentially. So it's a very slow, arduous process. Now, they would tell you, if you want to become spiritually advanced, you go up in the mountains, hide in the monastery, eat really pure food. So basically what you're doing is you're going up on a granite mountain, which is it stores energy, and you eat food that's highly charged relative to what's found in the natural world. And you begin to make some spiritual progress, and maybe in 20, 30 years you start to manifest some psychic phenomena or whatever. But with this stuff, you can't compare it, because the power levels are, you can do this in the middle of Manhattan, eating, bad food, you charge everything, you can act like a lunatic and you're still going to spiritually evolve.
I agree, because people think you're a lunatic after a while, because you talk to them and you make some kind of a profound statement, which to you is like scratching your ear, and they think they've just heard from some kind of a great guru. How many times have you guys out there felt that? You make some comment that seems so completely obvious to you, and they think they've heard something from on high. I get that every once in a while. I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. Yes, it's true, I'm more intuitive, et cetera, but I'm just thinking my thoughts. That's all. And I don't let myself think I'm cool, because I know better. It's the machine that's allowing me to be what I am, what anybody would be if they were on the machine. So it's no great accomplishment.
I have another question for you.
Yeah.
What if something happens to you or Kevin or electricity on the planet and the machine is no longer sending us the energy? What's going to happen to us?
Who am I speaking to?
This is Gail.
Gail. What I would say is, first of all, I think my son is relatively well-versed enough to back me up, especially as he continues working with me, and he's a full-time employee at this point. I brought him on about a month ago. So the technology is here. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting in this office of mine surrounded by my machines, and I swear you could cut the energy with a knife. It's like soft butter. And it's around me all the time, and it's incredibly powerful. My son does understand the technology. He knows how to utilize the machines. He'll get more sophisticated as time goes along. Kevin is also becoming more knowledgeable about what's going on. As far as the electricity is concerned, hey, we have thunderstorms up here, but I also have backup batteries. Now, the backup batteries only last for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I have never seen a situation where the bringing the electricity back lasted more than about 45 minutes up here. It could happen, and what happens then is you're going to get a chance to feel what life is like without the machine, which is actually not all that great, to tell you the truth.
What I also think is going to happen eventually, we're going to outgrow the need for machines, and life is going to be on such a positive upward spiral that we're not going to be bound by anything on the physical plane.
I'm hoping for that.
Well, let me just say this to you. Kevin may be correct, and I wouldn't want to conjecture that he's not correct. My personal feeling is that may or may not be true. Let's just put it this way. If we're talking about Bill Kirkland, not anybody else, just Bill Kirkland,
mm-hmm.
I know that without the machines, what I would do is go back to a highly cleared person that would understand a whole bunch of stuff compared to what I have now, or what I have, but I wouldn't have the power to be able to hold back the negativity of the world very easily.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is you have the feeling, you know what the deal is, but it's like a guy that's trying to fly an airplane, but the propeller isn't moving fast enough. So you're basically are bound to the ground, even though you know how to fly. So what I would say is, up until the time comes when I can honestly tell you I don't need the machine anymore, we probably do. And up till the time that I think that you can just conceive your own water, then we can't do that. But I do believe that the time, I already know that as far as, again, I've been on these machines for a long time. I'm doing things now at high enough levels to where they would seem like miracles to people, but they're not miracles. They're just an application. It's like the guy that does the magic trick in Las Vegas. It seems like magic until you know how to do it, and then it's just relatively straightforward. So what I would say is that the magician knows that he's just a guy, but the people in the audience think he's a magician, maybe. They're not too sure what he's all about. Well, this stuff produces a magical effect. And as far as I know for myself, I'm going to need the magic for a long time. But it doesn't make any difference because we're going to have it available. There's nothing to be concerned about. And over a period of time, we will go higher and higher and higher and higher. Eventually, I'm hoping that Kevin will be absolutely correct because once this paradigm shift occurs, where the human race gets out of this toilet bowl that they call Earth right now,
mm-hmm.
it may very well be that the collective consciousness of the human beings out there will lift each other up enough, say, for instance, in a rapture like in Christianity, let's say, or whatever.
Right. Well, all we got to get is that, 51%, right?
Well, I don't know whether it's 51% or 91%, but when the power level of the average persons are lifting the other ones up, yes, it'll become much less of a deal. Once everybody is flying, let's say everybody is on the machine in the world, at that point you're talking about flying so far and so fast that inventions, ideas, equipment, techniques will get to the point where they are just as inconceivable in the future today as this machine is today for the average person that gets on it. Okay, so I don't even worry about that. We'll let God take care of that one. Right now, what I do is I get up in the morning and, like Roy, I down a couple of glasses of water and I feel pretty good. And thank you very much, Lord.
Right. Right.
Is that helpful?
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, when I signed up for it, it said that you all had a regeneration blend and a more blend and a maximum oxygen elixir. What else have you added to it?
Well, we are willing to make the oxygen uptake elixir available to you, the Amore blend available to you, and you could certainly check with Kevin on that, and we can work with that. Interestingly enough, the blend technology takes into account all of those. But as time goes along, here's what's going to happen. Let's say, for instance, you want the maximum oxygen uptake. Once I start turning my mind to oxygen uptake, and believe me, there's a lot of oxygen uptake stuff in the blend. Once I start turning my mind to the oxygen uptake, that technology will explode just like the Amore technology will explode. But there are also Amore components of the blend technology as well. So, again, you're getting a fairly decent thing with the blend. The other ones are available to enhance that and will also be improved upon as time goes along.
What I'm finding is we don't really need more than one water product because it becomes interactive with the end consumer or user.